I'm very pleased to welcome to Robins TV Lee Burnham, who was a Carshalton athletic player in the 60s and 70s, and in two spells with the club scored over 100 goals. So, when was the last time you were back? And sorry, I should mention that. So, what's your grandson's name, Lee?
Lewis.
All right, so you've got a grandson who I understand is a goalkeeper.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, so when was the last time you were back, Lee?
The last time I was back was when I was 22 years old, so that's 50 years.
Oh wow,
50 years, yeah.
And you were pretty young when you joined Carshalton. How old were you, and who were your sort of boy?
I was in the reserve team when I was 16, and I played in the first team when I was just on 17.
Oh, wow.
First game against Letchworth, and I scored the winning goal, which I was pleased about.
Oh, okay, right, well, that's good. And talking of goals, you obviously scored a fair few for the club over the years. Any you remember in particular, other than that, maybe that first one?
Tooting and Mitcham, that's right. Tooting and Mitcham. We played them in Mickey Mays Cup, and we beat them 5-2 in the final bit, because there was only 4 teams in that time. And I got 3 of the goals, so I was pleased about that, especially against Tooting, because it was a sort of like a local derby, and sort of had hassle with that. We played Dulwich Hamlet in the London Senior Cup. I got 1 against them. In the FA Cup first round, we played Hendon one year, and the chairman said before the game that the last 2 times we've played Hendon away in the cup, we were 4-0 down and 4-0 down after 20 minutes. So don't let that happen today. We go out on the pitch, 25 minutes later we're 4-0 down, right? But we was able to claw it back to 5-3, which was good, and also we had a disallowed goal and whatever, So that was a good game as well.
So who were your sort of boyhood football heroes growing up?
They had to be strikers, didn't they? So it was Jimmy Greaves and Dennis Law.
Okay, well they're 2 not bad ones to go for. And what do you make of today's game then?
I thought we were doing quite well at first, but those 2 goals were a little bit sort of disappointing, really. Our goal was a cracker, very good finish. I'd have liked to have got that one,
Yeah.
Because
I was going to say to you, obviously, probably I'd imagine some of the pitches you played on back in the 60s and 70s were a bit ropey, to say the least. Do you fancy playing on this?
Well, I do actually still play walking football. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Yeah.
And they have got a pitch, not 4G. I think it's 3G we play on. And I still score goals at that. I've got a couple last week. So, but walking's a bit different. But I'd love to have played on this. When I was younger. Yeah. I did sort of get the nickname of Tap-In Lee, but not all my goals were tap-in, but a lot of them, were just being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? That was,
You talked about some goals. Are there any games in particular you remember as well? Where the Hendon one sounds one to remember. If you were 4-0 down after 20 minutes, or
and we, as I say, we came back to 5-3 there. So and to what we was knocking on the door at the end, which we'd beat the Met Police in the round before, and that was a tough old game. They were a real sort of heavy duty club. You know what I mean? But Wimbledon. I remember Wimbledon. We played Wimbledon in it was called the Midweek League then, Midweek Premier League, down here, and we beat them 6-0. And that night we played. I don't know if you remember Danny McDermott. You probably wouldn't, but he was my sort of joint striker. He got 2, I got 2 that night, and we really took them to pieces. And that was a good game.
So you got some good memories of the club anyway. And where else did you play after Carshalton?
I did join the enemy for a while. Played at Tooting Mitcham,
right.
And I played for Dagenham. Somebody asked me, somebody, a friend of mine sort of said, "Why don't you come along to Dagenham, and whatever." So I went along and played there. We won the league with Dagenham when I was there, And then me and the missus, we actually wanted to buy a house, and London was so expensive, it must be murder now. I don't know what it's like, but we moved up to Wellingborough, and I played for Wellingborough. You know, the last few seasons that I've played, sort of that sort of level of football, and I played Sunday morning stuff after that. I played up until I was 46, you know, Sunday morning and stuff like that. But Wellingborough was quite a good club and that, you know.
Okay, well, we're really pleased you were able to make it down, and I understand you've come down from that. You still live in that part of the world, I understand.
Yeah. We came down by train today. I mean, it was quite a nice journey down and whatever, you know. And Lewis wanted to see, you know, where we played and whatever, you know. So, you know. It's and you've enjoyed it, and you're coming down and that, you know.
Well, it's great you could come down, and like it's probably changed a little bit from the time you were here, but you know, hopefully it won't be quite so long before you're down here again.
The ground was the stadium, the stand was burnt down when, you know, just after I left it, you know, and then I didn't do it. But
as long as it was after you left,
That's it, yeah. But so that the stand was sort of that end, and this wasn't the stand, so this has been built up afterwards, you know, after the fire and whatever, you know. But it was just lovely. I mean, I had to have a walk around there because I used to enjoy round there, you know. That was you know, on some nights when we played Sutton there, I mean, that was a good game. They beat us 1-0, but we played Sutton, and what it was around the time, it was Christmas time, it was at Boxing Day, and because the weather has been that bad, there was no games on in London, you know, First Division, Arsenal, none of them were playing, so everybody was coming here, you know, because our pitch was playable, and it was full to the. There must have been sort of 8 or 9,000 here because it was full to the gunnels. You know, it really was. They beat us 1-0, but it was a really, really good game. You know, but that was a real enjoyable one. You know.
Yeah. Well, it's been good talking to you, Lee, but I think we're about to get kicked off because the teams are about to come out. But anyway, hey, well, we might need one, but yeah, hopefully the second half. Enjoy the second half and have a safe journey home.
Thanks a lot. Thanks.
Cheers.